Why am I so passionate about trying to help potters like yourselves to discover your own unique voice with your pottery? What is up, Shaping Nation? This is Nic Torres here. And on this episode of Shaping Your Pottery, I'm going to be talking about why I am so passionate about helping potters like yourself discover your own unique voice and why I continue to keep on pushing for this. You see, when I was like maybe my second year, third year, I want to say, going into my third year of my pottery journey, I had a lot of things that I wanted to kind of prove to myself. I wanted to be able to sell my pottery. I wanted to be able to make pottery that looked good, but more importantly, I wanted to sell my pottery. I wanted I wanted to have fun and be able to make this thing come to life just around pottery because I truly enjoyed it. I truly loved making pottery with my friend, and I love interacting and talking with everybody here and interviewing people. I love doing that. And I love being able to do that. And along the way of my journey, I I went through the motions a lot throughout my journey. Like for a long time, I was only focused on trying to sell my pottery, which was I was making a lot of mugs at the time. I was only trying to sell that pottery, but that wasn't working out. I was just going through the motions, and my pottery was looking like everybody else's. And along that way, I kept noticing that my pottery was kind of looking like everybody else's, and I wanted to start branching off from everybody else. I didn't want to be like the typical glaze potter that has bright glaze, drippy glazes, right? I didn't want to be that because I noticed a lot of people were doing that, but I could also see that a lot of people were probably doing that because it probably made them a lot of or good decent amount of money because they were able to sell that because they noticed that other people liked that. I did the same thing myself, but I didn't want to be like every other potter. So I set on this journey to try to figure out how to make pottery, how to make pottery good, how to throw on the wheel, how to incorporate other techniques. And I went on this long journey of specifically throwing on the wheel. And I really wanted to figure it out. I wanted to kind of find my voice with throwing on the wheel. I didn't know where I was heading, but I kept going and I kept going, but I was still at the same time kind of going through the motions. And then once I started this podcast, I got to interview other potters like yourselves who have been through this journey for longer than I have, and I have been able to interview them. And I got to pick their brain on what it meant to actually find your voice. And along the way, I noticed that a lot of people actually get a lot of confidence because they start finding their own voice with their pottery, or their new opportunities come for them because they have found their voice, and things just seem a lot better. And so that's why I want to push this so hard onto you guys that we all should be trying to find our voice. We all should be trying to distinguish ourselves as potters and not try to be like every other potter out there. Because if you could start distinguishing yourself right now, what begins to happen is that more people are going to look at your pottery. You are going to be different than anybody else, and you're going to just be overall happier about your pottery journey. Because when I was just going through the motions, only making mugs, only making things that I thought would sell well, pottery wasn't fun. Pottery wasn't fun at all. And that's what I want to bring back to you is that pottery is supposed to be fun first and foremost. That's why we got into this. Maybe we got into it as a little hobby. Maybe we got into it to distract ourselves from, outside influences along in our life. Or maybe it was somebody else that got us into it, but we kept going because we just wanted to be happy. It made us happy, so we kept doing it. But I see a lot of potters, and I've done this myself, that they tend to focus more on trying to sell their pottery when in reality we should be trying to find our own unique style, our own style that makes us feel happy. And that is why the most important thing. That is why I push trying to help you find your own unique voice so hard, because I want you to be happy with the pottery you are making. I want you to be happy with whatever you are making. Be proud of what you're making. Stand out from everybody else and be your own unique person instead of just following the crowd, being a sheep like how I was for a long time. I want you to be different. I want you to embrace your weirdness. I want you to embrace your interest, and I want you to go out and put that onto your pottery and express it yourself, because that's how you find your voice. I don't want you to be like everybody else. I don't know about you, but I definitely don't like being with the norm. I'll tell you a quick story. When I used to play water polo in high school, one of the drills we had to do was we had to egg beat, which is just simply moving our legs really in a circle so we stay afloat above the water. And we had to do that all across about a 25-meter pool. That's a really far distance. And I noticed that while we were holding a ball in our hand, I noticed that other people were just holding the ball. One, I didn't really like that because I didn't like being the same as everybody else. But two, I was also getting bored. So I started throwing the ball back and forth as I was egg beating across the pool. And once we stopped, I remember the coach. He literally stopped everyone. He told everybody, he was like, "Why did I only see one person throwing the ball back and forth? Why?" And he actually kind of got mad at everybody else, but he praised me, and I loved that. But I did that because I wanted to be different, and I didn't want to stay in that sheep mold. I wanted to continue doing things my own way, not the way other people wanted me to do it. So that's why I want you to help you find your voice, and I do that by helping you with this podcast. So go out there, be different, dare to be different, be weird, embrace your interests, and go out and find your voice. I hope you guys enjoyed this episode, and I'll see you guys in the next one.